Hi, we are Kian, Luis, Emmanuel, Abdul, Eliangela, and Carlos, and we decided to do Sir Alex Ferguson because of his great leadership skills.
His great leadership skills are shown through his 26-year career. Not only has he won the Premier League several times, but he's also won the Champions League. He is a positive role model, and not only that, he's a father figure to many Manchester United players as well as supporters. We decided to do the situational approach and leader-member exchange approach, as we felt as though this best suited his role as a leader.
What can businesses learn from Alex Ferguson leadership?
Well, businesses can learn several things. One, to always be cool under pressure. So Alex Ferguson has always been calm and collective, and this has kept him going through tough times of his careers. Two, another thing that businesses can learn from Alex Ferguson's style is that you always have to be dynamic and diverse in whatever you do. So Alex Ferguson has also given many talks to universities, some as prestigious as Harvard universities. The reason why he's given so many talks is because his style of leadership is most unusual, and the fact that he is an extraordinary leader in his own right.
Sir Alex Ferguson was the manager of Manchester United for 27 years. He's the longest serving manager in Premier League history. He's had a successful career leading teams to success and building relationships with players along the way, such as David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney, and many others.
What makes Alex Ferguson a leader?
Sir Alex Ferguson changing his club and molded the youth team into what they are today. He used the coaching systems and the scouting systems to mold the club in his image.
He had determination, vision to achieve and success. He makes an exceptional leader to the fact that he has a very determination and very deep drive when it comes to leading his team. He used real life experiences and applied the experiences towards his team. He quotes, "I remember going to see Andrea Bacardi. I'm watching this, I'm thinking about the coordination and the teamwork. One starts and one stops. Just fantastic." He had a famous rant nicknamed the hairdryer. Sir Alex Ferguson was the father figure in his group because of his very harsh approach and the way that he spoke to his members in his team. He was very direct and to the point, and a lot of times when they lost, he would shout a lot in their faces, and that's why they nicknamed him the hairdryer.
Now next we're going to talk about situational approach. Situational approach can be defined as to be an effective leader requires that a person adapts his or her style to the demand of different situations. As in the name suggests, a leader must be able to adapt his or her approach to a changing situation. Many key leaders take on this approach as they are challenged by dynamic and volatile situations. Hershey and Blanock talk about that for situational approach to work, two dimensions must be put in place. First dimension is supportive dimension, which entails a social and emotional support for the workforce if needed. And the second dimension is directive behaviour, which assesses whether the employee has a high development, competency and commitment to carry out this task. Third bullet point, the diagram shows how the model works when directive behaviour is high and supportive behaviour is low, meaning that when directive behaviour is high, you would want to manage the staff as a low supportive behaviour. Employees move along and back, move forwards and back along the continuum, so they are always being challenged by different situations that arise in the workplace.
Now we will apply Sir Alex Ferguson to the situational approach. When Sir Alex Ferguson wins, he has a different approach to when his team loses. I quote, "It became a real feisty game in the last 20 minutes of the match, and I'm glad to get the result." Whereas if his team was to lose, he has a different situation and a different leadership style. I quote, "There won't be any slacking off." There is a model as seen in the previous slide which shows the situational approach, and Hertz and Blanchard wrote it. Under this module comes directing, coaching, supporting and delegating. So Alex Ferguson shows all of these attributes. He shows most supporting for a player For any human being, there is nothing better than hearing well done. Those are the two best words ever invented. Fergie also drew his men in from the pitch as if to say, lads, we've got work to do. He also has said, I constantly told my squad that working hard all your life is a talent, but I expected even more from the star players. I expected them to work even harder.
We also applied Alex Ferguson's leadership to the leader-member exchange theory. This theory focuses on the interactions between leader and followers. The definition is, this theory stresses the leader must treat differently the followers depending the role of the followers are going to play on the organization. There are two types of group followers, in-groups and out-groups. In-groups, people who are willing to do more than when it's required, and therefore the leader gives them more responsibilities and more support. Out-groups, people who are willing to do just what is required, and therefore the leader doesn't give them more responsibilities or support than when it's previously established.
Sir Alex Ferguson treated all of his team players differently. He treated them differently depending on their needs and the role each player played upon the team. Sir Alex Ferguson was seen as a father figure to many of his team members, and he built personal relationships with all of his players. I quote, I can still call him and I know he will spare me as much time as he can for a chat. And whether it's a week, a month, or a year since we've last talked, he remembers my kids' names and always asks us for them.
David Beckham, I quote, his relationship with Fergie had all but broken down as the United boss balked at Beckham's celebrity lifestyle, and United number 7 openly courted a move to Real Madrid. That move was a qualified success, but United hardly missed him.
What can businesses learn from Sir Alex Ferguson? Start with the foundations. By giving young people chances, for example, Sir Alex Ferguson gave young players opportunities and they responded by being loyal to him and trying their best. Secondly, rebuild and optimise. Sir Alex Ferguson knew when to let people go for the benefit of the organisation, and he made decisions based on performances. Finally, maintaining high standards. He expected high levels of performance from everyone, especially more established senior players. Stay in control. If there's a negative group member, you can't be afraid to let them go.
Know when to motivate. You have to be able to motivate your team members at the right time. By being continuously praised, they work harder. Be a winner. You have to be willing to always take risks, and only by taking risks will you know the level of success. Trust your instincts. Sir Alex Ferguson was very observant, and these observations helped him to make quick decisions that were very often correct. Always adapt for success. Quote, I always felt I couldn't afford not to change. Sir Alex Ferguson always realized that to stay on top for a prolonged period of time, it is very important to keep adapting.
To conclude our presentation, we picked 2 leadership styles that best suits Alex Ferguson. Football is a dynamic and diverse game and constantly changes, which means leadership style needs to be changed. Sir Alex Ferguson's leadership style is very unique. However, this has been proven to be very successful. He uses both styles of leadership to be an effective manager, which delivers great results.
I hope that from this presentation you can see how Sir Alex Ferguson has all of these leadership traits that we have spoken about, situational approach and leader-member exchange, and how they relate to him. Also how his leadership has contributed to the world of business in this century and all the years that he has worked as a football manager. Even though he is now retired, he is still recognised as a great leader, and he is very highly respected of any Premier League manager in the past. He has an autobiography which has just come out, and this explains his journey so far as a football manager and his contribution to business and how he is a great leader.
Thank you very much for your attention.